Well, g'day, Yvette. Welcome to the show. It's great to have you here today.
Nice to be here. Thank you, Peter.
No, that's all right. I just want to sort of give a bit of a disclaimer right now that the Skype magic that we're having, it's going to go a bit scattery and that kind of thing. But just listen up, guys. This is we just overcome. We're entrepreneurs. We get this. It's all right. We just listen up because there's going to be a lot of great content on this call today. You're going to learn heaps and heaps about apps. So Yvette, could you just quickly start off, give us a bit of an intro, like wherever you come from, why should we be listening to you with business advice and marketing advice?
Okay.
Where have you come from?
Okay, my background is I studied a Bachelor of Commerce at La Trobe University, so I consider myself to be an accountant by trade and a business person by choice. So basically, after I studied my Bachelor of Commerce, I actually went and worked at an accounting firm for a couple of years and then wondered what I'd done because I absolutely hated it. Sitting in front of a computer doing tax was definitely not something that excited me at all. But I was fortunate enough because my parents owned multi-site KFC stores, and my dad, I think at that point they'd had the stores for about 9 years or so, and my dad had got to a point where he was completely over them, and it was right at the time where I was considering whether I'd continue and become a chartered accountant or do my CPA, and my dad actually said to me, he's also an accountant, but he said to me, don't do either, come and run the businesses for me. I was probably 24 years of age at that point. Was not something that I'd considered doing. I had worked in them, family business, while I was at school and at uni. But in hindsight, it was the best thing I ever did. Being exposed to the KFC brand, the way they do things, the systems and the procedures really set me up very well for any future business endeavours. So I ran those businesses for about 8 years until I had my first child. At that point, my parents actually sold their businesses because none of my brothers or sisters were interested in running the businesses. They actually sold their businesses and retired at that point in time. Just before we had Abby, my husband and I also bought an UltraTune franchise. So we bought our first UltraTune franchise in Bendigo, and we proceeded to buy 3 others within 2 years.
Wow. Okay.
Set up from scratch, actually. So we didn't actually buy the businesses; we set them up from scratch.
Yeah.
So, and that was huge. The idea behind it was that he's a qualified auto electrician, and he was running a mechanical repairs workshop, and he was getting very bored just, doing the work, serving the customers, doing everything in this little workshop in Sunbury. And he said to me, I need to do something else. So with our experience with multi-site franchises, I said to him, if we just go and buy one UltraTune, you'll basically be doing what you're doing now. If we buy multiple, then your role will change from the owner and operator of one store to overseeing the whole operation of a few. So there was some method to our madness. And we went along this journey of setting up 4 stores.
Yeah.
And during that time, we also had 3 children in 3 years. So we don't do things by halves, that's for sure. And, as we were talking before, there's been so many learnings along that journey. We have made mistakes, and we have learnt so much along that journey. And we actually sold one of those stores in 2008. We sold our Bendigo store and we relocated. We were living in regional Victoria. We relocated back to Melbourne to be closer to family and had the other 3 stores still operating. And at that point, we actually bought an online accommodation marketing business called Great Ozscapes. And that was just before the economic crisis hit. And really that business then just chugged along. The great thing about that business, though, was that there were very minimal overheads.
Yeah.
It was hosted online and, we could operate it from home. But in January last year, the UltraTunes were really just plodding along, and because we weren't really sort of driving them. We were in Melbourne, they were in Albury, Wodonga and Shepparton. So we relocated up here to Wodonga in January last year, and really have spent, the last sort of 15 months or so really getting those stores into good shape.
Okay.
And also I was sort of working really hard on revamping Great Escapes and looking at different ways of marketing, looking at different ways of delivering our message. And that's how I come about at Budgie, was through purely, sort of looking at an innovative way of being able to market our online business.
Okay, because we just earlier on before the interview, we were actually talking about some of the courses that you've done.
Yes.
And we've actually done some of the same courses. And, like that teach you all about sort of the whole online thing and video and articles and content, all that sort of stuff. Could you just talk just a little bit about some of that stuff and how that kind of led into App Budgie, and then we'll get right into apps?
Yeah, I've of the philosophy that you've got sort of 2 ears and 1 mouth. So I've always been very involved in learning as much as I can and talking to people, and through other areas of business I came across Mike Dillard, we were talking before, and then there's also some other guys that in the US that were really big leaders in online marketing. And because of Great Escapes was based online, when we first took over the business, the owner was, the form of marketing that he was doing was fax out marketing, and it was terrible. I hated it. I just hated the whole stigma that was associated with fax out marketing. But then when I really delved into the online marketing area, it's huge, and there's so much to learn. And as time went on, I soon realised that it was quite a competitive market, and it was changing all the time in line with, what was happening. Whatever Google decided to do at any point in time would really change the way, people could market their business online. And so just when you thought you were getting your head around, okay, I'll do some Google AdWords, I'll set up a Google AdWords account and I'll do some marketing, bang, Google would change things, and, it wouldn't work as well as what you thought it was going to, and it became, quite challenging. So, it's been a very, very interesting journey, and as much as there's been some really challenging times, I do believe that everything I've done up until this point has brought me to apps, and has, we've experimented with every form of marketing possible, I believe. Yeah. And, this really has... this journey has brought me to this point where I'm so ridiculously excited about what App Budgie offers to business owners. Yeah.
Okay, so how does because you've obviously got some credentials there, but running all those businesses, doing all that type of marketing, and really like delving in for long periods of time into the whole internet thing and that area. So as far as your apps go, how do the apps stand out from those other things that you've tried? Why are they so different, and why are you so excited about doing apps?
Because I believe that we're moving into, or we have already moved into, a mobile world. So while we're sitting there, the statistics are that people are searching the internet via their mobile device more than via a desktop computer these days. So when I started to go along that track, I started to think, how do I get Great Escapes onto a mobile device? What's the best way to do that? And so my research into that, I actually listened to a webinar with some guys from the US, and they were talking about apps. Now, once again, I was at that point where I knew that, okay, we're moving into a mobile world. The only real way I know is to have an app on a phone, but I don't know how that actually works in terms of marketing your business. Okay, it looks great. It's probably going to cost me a fortune to set up. That's what I was thinking. I actually posted a job on Elance for Great Escapes, thinking, and I had this range of people come back to me and say, for various functionality, it was going to cost me, someone said $400, someone said $27,000. I thought, oh my goodness, I don't even know where to begin.
Yeah.
And I don't even know what is the best functionality that will serve my purposes. So that's when I just started investigating it myself. And I came across a platform that these guys in the US had developed.
Mm-hmm.
And it actually enables businesses to market their brand directly into their customers' pockets via the use of push notifications. So within the UltraTunes, we had started using SMS marketing, and we could see the benefits of that instantly. If our bookings were quiet for a week in the UltraTunes stores, we would send out a text message, and instantly the phone would start ringing.
Wow!
But those messages still are costing us 18 cents per message. So the bigger the database, which you want to have a huge database of people that you can market to, the more expensive it becomes. And you need to be strategic about where you're spending your marketing dollars, because you've only got so many of them. If you're wanting to deliver, marketing is all about delivering your message to the right person at the right time. I could see that the right time and the right way was to get onto their mobile device, because people are walking around with their mobile phones in their pockets all the time. The statistics are that 91% of us have our mobile phone within 3 foot of us 24 hours a day. So our mobile phone is within 3 feet of us 24 hours a day. So we know that's where we need to be. This platform that AppBudgie use actually enables businesses to send instant messages, which appear as a text message would, through the app platform. And you can send unlimited messages for a monthly hosting fee, which is only $49.95 per month. Now, for me, I just thought, it was like a huge light bulb going off. I was overwhelmed at the possibilities that apps presented from a marketing perspective.
So what's the difference? So let's put it into perspective. So you're spending 18 cents per text.
Yeah.
And then $49 per month. What's the difference in actual dollar value that you were spending?
I can give you an actual example of one of my customers. Yeah. So when we went and spoke to them, they were looking at an SMS program that was going to cost them $2,500 a year. For that $2,500 a year, they were going to have the capability to send 300 messages per month, so 300 individual texts per month.
Okay, yeah.
This is for a school. These people were, it's a primary school in Wodonga. So they knew that they were to overcome the challenges with communication, that sending messages to mobile phones was an area that they wanted to explore. $2,500 for the year, 300 messages per month. They've got 345 families in the school, 500 students. So instantly they knew that in order just to send one message out per month, they were going to have to spend more than the $2,500 per year. So what we've done is we've built an app for them for $1,795, an app that is fully functional, graphically designed, ready to go. They've got back-end access to the platform. So that's the setup of the app. Ongoing, we're talking about a $49.95 per month hosting fee. That's $600 a year. So for $600 a year, they're going to have the capability to send out as many messages as they like. They could send 5 messages a day if they wanted to send, not that they would. But, of course, they've got a newsletter, a weekly newsletter. They weren't even going to be able to push out that newsletter. Now, also the functionality with the app allows you, when you see the message on your screen, you have the option to close the message down when it appears on your screen, or view, and it actually takes you through to the app for more content. Whereas with a text message, you've got your 140 characters or whatever it might be. You've got to deliver the message as effectively as you can and to say, okay, this is it, and that's it. Okay, it's that once-off message, that's it. With an app, you've got the capability to go through to the app and present as much content as you want. So
kind of like going to a website, so you can click here and then you're on a website, basically. Kind of. That's my understanding.
And we've got, exactly. It's click here and go through to that, because really we do have the capability to link through to web pages as well. But it's more than that, because it it is having the power to market to your people, to your customers when they're not even thinking about you. Okay, so with the internet, you're relying on someone to search for you. Okay, so they're searching something, they might come across your website if you've got good search engine optimization. And there's so much noise out there at the moment, everybody's competing, so they might find you. Okay, but your valued customers, they already know your brand, they already come to your business. If they've downloaded your app, you have then got the capability to market to them when they're not even thinking about you.
Yeah.
So,
but they've actually already given you permission by downloading the app. They're saying, I want you to send me messages.
Absolutely.
So it's permission marketing still. Yeah.
Yeah, and you think about all the businesses that you interact with on a daily basis. Your local coffee shop, your regular haunt for lunch, your local pub where you go for a drink with friends after work. We've got a lot of places that we visit on a regular basis, and they're our local in whatever industry it might be. We want to know what's going on there. We want to know what events they're holding. We want to know what special offers they've got. You know, in Wodonga, the local pub, who we have built an app for, but we're all got that work-life balance where we're flat out trying to, pick kids up, go to work, cook dinner, do the shopping, all of that sort of stuff. You get a message from your local, kids eat free tonight. You're in the midst of this, chaos that is our life, most of us, and you're like, great, let's just go.
Yeah.
I don't know what I was going to do for dinner anyway because I hadn't got to the shops anyway. I'm going to go. Let's go. We're going to go there. I was actually talking to a guy who said to me that you're so right. People do respond to these messages. He said, I was on the golf course. I was playing golf. I got a message on my phone that said that Carlton Cold slabs at Choice liquor shop were on special for half price. I went there after I finished playing golf. I said, did you? He said, yes, I went there.
Yeah.
I said, well, it does work.
Yeah.
And we know the effectiveness of SMS marketing through the Ultra Tunes, that to me it was just like a no-brainer. Here you are, you have the capability to market like you would do through an SMS program, but it's offering so much more value because you've also got all of the functionality within the app.
Can we actually let's talk about that functionality, because to me, I'm the best person to be interviewing you because I really don't know that much about apps at all, like except Angry Birds and a few other things. That to me, that's apps. So as far as a business, right, what's some of the functionality that a business can sort of do with an app? What can you actually do with an app to someone who doesn't know? I'm a complete novice. I want to know.
Okay, so from a business perspective, you have the capability, as I said, and our apps are hosted on a platform which is held in the cloud. So if you've got internet access, you've got access to the back end of the app. So you've got the capability to send messages out at any point in time. You have also got the capability to send out coupons. So you can actually have like a coupon or a special offer that is, and it doesn't need to be there when you submit the app. When we submit the app to the app stores, it's not set in concrete. It's not like whatever we've got in that app at that point in time is what you've got in your app. A lot of people I've spoken to that have had apps developed and coded and all that sort of stuff for them, they don't have that capability to make any changes. They don't have the capability to send push notifications. Our apps can be changed. We can send out new coupons that will just appear within the app when the customer goes into the app the next time, and it'll be sitting there for them. They'll be able to go to the hairdresser and show them that this coupon has appeared, and they show it to the person at the register, and they hit redeemed on the coupon, and then the coupon goes away.
Wow.
Okay, so that is one of the huge functionality that is really appealing to a lot of business owners. The other one is a loyalty program. So you would see that a lot of people use those little like business cards where you go and every time you buy a coffee you get one of and Baker's Delight is a huge one for that. You go there, you get a stamp every time you visit. On your 5th visit or your 10th visit or whatever it is, you get a free loaf of bread.
And I always lose them anyway.
Yeah. And So they're great, right? Because they do encourage that repeat business. It's like, okay, I'm going to go in there and I'm going to get a free loaf of bread. Why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
I'm going to get a free coffee on my 10th visit. I go there every day. Why wouldn't I? So the loyalty program functionality actually allows for that all to occur within the app. So what happens is it can be set up using a GPS check-in, or it can be set up via a QR code. And so you're familiar with what a QR code looks like?
That little square,
the little
squiggly
square
thing.
box with the squiggly bits in it, and it links. Normally when you scan a QR code, it links through to something. What we can do is we generate a QR code that is linked to that loyalty program. It's sitting at the register whenever somebody buys a coffee. They come in, they get access to the QR code, they scan the QR code, and it tracks within the app how many visits that they've been in for. It's all set up. The criteria is determined by the business owner. They might say it's 5 visits, 10 visits. You can also set it up so that that code can only be scanned every 12 hours or every 24 hours. So you've got a lot of control over the criteria of the loyalty program. But upon that 5th scan or the 10th scan, a coupon will pop up that says free coffee or half price off your next meal or whatever. And so the next time that customer comes in, once again they show the coupon and they redeem the coupon, and then they can start again with the loyalty program. So that's the functionality that most business owners love. The fact that they can encourage that repeat business, the most profitable business. You've got those customers already. You don't have to go out and market to new customers. You've got your existing client base. We've built the app for Red Rooster in Bendigo. And so what their challenge was, they make up some of their products a couple of days in advance and they put them in the cool room. So they've got cold chicken rolls that they warm up. They can only sit in the cool room for however long, couple of days, whatever it might be. They get to that end of that time frame, and what they do at the moment is they go and put out a whopping big banner out the front, and it says two for one chicken roll deals. They're relying on the passing traffic to come in and redeem the offer and to move their chicken rolls. Now that they've got an app, what they've got the capability to do is to send a push notifications to their existing client base. So their customers that love Red Rooster already, they've come in, they've downloaded the app. They can send out a push notifications to their customer strategically at 11:30 or 12 o'clock when people are thinking about what they're going to be having for lunch. They are regulars at Red Rooster, but they also go to the coffee shop down the road or wherever they go, and they get this offer on their phone. The likelihood that they're going to go and redeem that offer, it's just a no-brainer. Having the capability to connect what other marketing method gives you that capability to instantly connect into your customer's pocket.
And just at the right time. I like that, like at 11:30, and I'll travel across town to get two chicken rolls for. I'll jump in the car and spend $5 in petrol to get my free chicken roll.
That's exactly right. And if you're already a customer, and you can send out push notifications whenever you like. It's so it's very exciting. And when I learnt about the functionality, I was amazed. It isn't a hard sell, as I said to you before. It's an education process, really surrounding. People. We're very much at the forefront of this app technology.
Because I'll be honest, when I found out, because I thought, I've heard other places too, like $25,000 for an app. I thought, that's just what apps cost. It's a big deal. So when I was first sort of checking you out and looking at different stuff that you had and different offers, I was surprised at how cheap they were. I thought, wow. Because I actually told someone the other week, apps, they're expensive.
Yes, that's right. And we get that a lot when we speak to people. We've had a couple of people that say, an app isn't in our budget before we even talk to them. Yeah. And we say to them, we've done the research. I'm in Albury Wodonga, our local newspaper here, the Border Mail. You're lucky to get a quarter-page ad on a Saturday morning for less than $2,000. That's one ad in one newspaper on one Saturday morning that probably 4 people are going to read. It's to me, this building an app for less than $2,000 gives you the capability to market to people time and time again. It really is. That's why I'm so excited about it, because we are business owners,
Yeah.
and we have spent so much money trying to find a marketing method that actually works, that will actually bring a customer to the door, to the telephone, or whatever that might be. And I truly believe in my heart and soul that this marketing method offers true value to people. And if it didn't, I wouldn't be doing it, because I had so much else going on anyway.
No, and just before we started the interview, we were talking a bit about how, or we were just talking, and you were saying how you think it just outstrips everything you've done so far. Like, like,
Yeah.
could you talk a bit about that? Like, how so? How could it be the best thing?
I think that you could probably put me in the category of a serial entrepreneur. It is just who I am. I live and breathe business. I just love it. And I've really been, as you can see, I've done a few different things. And, and in amongst all of that, I also set up a bookkeeping business that my sister runs now. So, I've been searching for something that I could really, build into a great, successful business. And that's just my dream. That's my goal. That's who I am. And I believe that all of the challenges that I've faced, all of the mountains that we've climbed, and everything that we've done in terms of business in the past, 8 years, has brought me to this point. So all of the learnings, as we were talking about before, all of a sudden I have been given this the opportunity presented itself, and I thought, wow, it ticks all the boxes. It is a product that's at the forefront. It is a business that I can work around my family, and it all of the systems and procedures that I learnt in KFC, I've been able to say, okay, let's look at this business from that perspective. What systems and procedures do I need to run this business in the most effective way? In terms of marketing, even at Budgie, when I've looked at that as well, I've thought, what I'm talking to my customers about and talking about in terms of the old methods of marketing is very true for me as well. Putting a big banner on the Balti Bridge in Melbourne that says build your business with an app is not going to work for me with App Budgie, because people don't understand the technology at this point in time. They know where they need to be. They know they need to be in this space. But they don't know what an app can do. So it's been very much a process of educating people. So I do believe that everything I've learned in my career, has brought me to this point where I'm like, wow, this is a huge opportunity, and I'm very excited about it.
It's kind of like Twitter and Facebook, just sort of talking about what you were just saying there, how when that was all new and everyone's like, what's this Twitter thing, what's this? And now they're seeing it everywhere, and it's like they know they need to get on it, but they don't quite know why. And then once they get there, they don't know how to use it. On Twitter and those types of things. But now it's just a standard. You start a business, okay, you get your Twitter, you get your YouTube, you get your Facebook, probably get a LinkedIn, the big four. And now it seems that apps are going to be, the next step.
Oh, look, they're saying that by the end of this year, there's going to be more smartphones on the planet than there will be people. In Australia at this point in time, we've got 22 million people and 30 million activated mobile phone accounts. It's just the way that we're going. I've got I've had a few people that sort of push back and say, I don't know whether my target market is ready for an app yet. And I say, are you serious? Like, go to Melbourne, sit on a tram or a train and see what everybody is doing. They're all sitting there with their phones looking at Facebook, whatever. It is amazing. Are you kidding? Even my mum, and it's not just my mum. I looked at my aunties and uncles, and I took all of those into perspective, and they're all in their 60s and 70s now. Who has got a smartphone out of them? 50% of them would have a smartphone. Every single one of them have a mobile phone. So it's not, and you're seeing the older generation moving on to Facebook and Twitter, and they're getting their head around that,
I can't remember a family function that I've gone to where there isn't a moment where everyone's sitting out there with their phone comparing, oh, you got this, I've got that, oh, do you want this one, I've got this, and talking about what they've got. So what about with apps? I'm sure you've probably got something in mind of talkability, the fact that why would they show your app to someone, hey, look at this app that I've got, and then straight away have that person be thinking, where did you get that? I want to get one for my business. That that sharing factor. Have you got something that built in for that? Say, if I got a business, I get an app that will
Yeah.
have people sharing my app with other people.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
We have sharing capability within the app. So we've got one touch call, GPS directions, and sharing. So you can share the link through to the app with other people. So, for example, we've got one of the pubs that we built the app for. He said to me, Yvette, I am going to one day send out a push notification that says free beer. For the next 100 people that walk in the door, you'll get a free pot, right? Now, whatever he's going to spend on beer is not going to compare to what he would possibly spend on the radio or the television or whatever. Now, imagine if you're sitting next to someone when you get that message saying free beer and they say, free beer at the Beera, I'm going, and this guy sitting there hasn't got the app, he's going to download the app, and he's going to say, I want to be the next person that gets that offer for free beer.
Yeah.
Right? It's it's a very exciting industry to be in, that's for sure.
Awesome, man. I'm sold. I like apps. I had no idea that they could be so effective. I knew, everyone's got a mobile and you can really reach people. But now, do you have any kind of, how would you say it? Is it like a bit of consulting? Like, because if I come up to you and say, hey, I want an app, I wouldn't even know what to ask for. Just like you were when you were first looking for an app. Like, what's some of the questions I guess people could ask themselves before they even come to you to get an app, to kind of be able to help you to assist them on creating that app for them?
In relation to that, basically, I believe that anybody who's got an audience, a large audience, that they need to communicate a message to. So we've built apps for non-commercial organisations as well, so sporting clubs and things like that. So it really did solidify it for us that this was about communication and connection as much as it was about marketing and promotion. So to me, you need an app if you've got an audience that you need to communicate a message to. It's as simple as that. And I believe we will be in a space in the near future where everyone will have an app like everybody's got a website. It's just going to be a matter of time. In terms of developing that app, there's not really a lot. If you've got a website, there's not really a lot that we need to do. We can actually pull a lot of information from the website to develop your app. We just need to sit down together and say, what is it? What sort of information do you want to make available from your app? Is it audio, video, just written content, events that if you're holding events, you want an events calendar, that the events calendar will give you the capability to sync to your personal phone. So if you're looking at the events that your local sporting club is having and you want to sync them into your actual phone calendar, you can do that as well. So all of those things, the best thing about it is when you're building a website, there's a lot of content that you need to pull together and you need to write up and all of that sort of stuff. If that's already done, we can actually just duplicate a lot of that across to the app and then add the functionality that you want that's specific to the app, like coupons and all of that. So it's been actually quite a pain-free process for our clients because I see the looks on their flat faces sometimes like, oh, I've got to get all this content together. And I say, no, don't worry. We can pull a lot of it from the website. You just tell me what you want on your coupon. Do you want a free beer, wine or soft drink? If that's what you want, great. So it's quite a simple process.
And it'll help with branding too. Just keeping things consistent. So the website, the app, any other messages you got?
Absolutely. Consistent message across right through, because you can link through to the website from the app. So you want that message to be streamlined, the same branding across the board. It's quite a simple process.
Yeah, okay. And how are you promoting this? Like, so an app is good for push notifications. So if I'm already on board, got the app, I can get the messages. Is there some functionality in apps to get new business? Like, how does lead generation type thing?
Yeah, in terms of, we've got the sharing capability, so you do have the capability to share it. In terms of cross-promotion, you'd be cross-promoting your app from your website, your social media pages as well. So within our apps, we have the social media. We have, you can set up a page that is dedicated to your Facebook page. So you cross-promote there. Whoever you get that's downloaded your app will also then see your Facebook page and then be able to like you on Facebook if they haven't already.
Yeah, okay,
and vice versa.
And
so
I can imagine that would help with lead generation in terms of, once you start building up that Facebook
Yes.
section, they coincide, friends of friends, and off you go. You're off to the races.
Yep. Yep. Exactly.
Awesome.
So same as with LinkedIn and Pinterest and all of that, we can set up a page within the app that is dedicated to those platforms as well, and then the customer can link through to those as well. And if they haven't already liked the page or followed, they can do that as well.
Yeah. So it just ties in totally with everything. Like everything's connected, and everyone's connected to everyone else. And
absolutely. And it's not only that it's all connected, but it's in their pocket. So it's very exciting. I've spoken to mums that have said to me, we've built apps for schools, and they're like, I was sitting at the doctor's surgery waiting for the doctor the other day. You sit there for ages always, and I read the newsletter. I read the school newsletter, on my phone.
Yeah.
The tuck shop list, we're frantic in the mornings, and the kids want a lunch order. Where's the tuck shop list? It's in their app. It's on their phone.
Yeah.
So it's about convenience, and it's amazing.
Awesome. All right. So wrap up. What?
Yep.
Just thinking of a last kind of question that people could be asking themselves right now. What's one thing you'd want to suggest to people? I guess this is like just a plug, your big shameless plug. What can people do to get in touch with you? I'm going to put some links down here anyway, so people can sort of click right through. But what do you want to leave them with?
I want to leave them with, if they don't have an app now, they're just going to play catch up down the track. So it's either present yourself as a leader in your industry by adopting such accessible technology now, or play catch up down the track, and that's what it's going to be about. So it's apps have revolutionised the way that people are marketing their business, and if you're not looking at one, you're mad, completely mad.
And now it's so affordable too.
Absolutely ridiculously affordable.
So let's actually, just before we go, cheapest and most expensive can be off to the 25, 30,000. You can go that far, but what's sort of the base level app? Just a simple, I want to send SMSs and that look nice.
Yep. So our apps on our platform that you have back-end access to send unlimited push notifications with that loyalty program functionality, or everything I've talked about, all of that functionality. We can build an app with all of that functionality for $1,795.
Mm-hmm.
That's the build and design, and then there's a $49.95 per month hosting fee, which enables you to send unlimited push notifications and to have access to the platform to make as many changes, updates as you like. And it's very, very simple to use.
All right. Okay. So the website?
Appbudgie.com.
Yes. And you're on Facebook as well?
I'm on Facebook.
Yep. So I'll leave a link to your Facebook and to your appbudgie.com.
Yep.
So guys, there it is. Get on it or get left behind.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks so much for your time, Yvette. I'm glad you took the time to share that with us, and I'm better educated on apps now. I actually know some. I've learned some stuff today, so it's always a good thing. I love not knowing about something when I'm about to interview someone, because I ask the questions that I want to know, so I just assume that people that are watching this might want to know that too. So, thanks heaps for your time. I really appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Okay, see you later.
Bye.
Straight out business advice. If you were to start a business again, from scratch, like based on your whole knowledge, what would you do? If you had to start again, what are you going to do?
I think the key thing is to find your passion. And that's always been a challenge for me, because my passion, I believe, has just been business. So it's been, okay, is any business then, will that be good for me? And that's not the case. It's to find something that, you're passionate about. And I actually recently had the opportunity to write a chapter for a book that's published on Kindle, and in that they asked me the same questions. What in your opinion, what would you tell people to do? And the first thing I would tell people to do is don't do anything unless you're passionate about it. Don't step out of your job and become an entrepreneur unless you're passionate about it, because when it's up to you to find the money to pay your way at the end of the month, and it's not easy, unless you're passionate about it, then, you might as well just stay in your job until you find something that you're passionate about. I think there's this stigma around running your own business that it's all glamour and fun and, it looks great from the outside until you get into it, and it's not any of those things. In fact, it's bloody hard work. You're on this huge learning curve of learning everything involved in business: marketing, administration, accounting, tax, all of this stuff. You need to, even if you don't know everything about it, you need to know that you need somebody to help you with it. So my keys would be, one, to find something that you're passionate about. Be realistic. Make sure the numbers stack. Okay, because even if you're really passionate about it, if it's not going to make you any money, you're not going to be passionate about it for very long. The reality of it is, and there's this great saying by Zig Ziglar, and it's, money isn't everything, but it ranks right up there with oxygen. And that's the truth. I think we all think, I don't want to be focused on money. Money's not the be-all and end-all. And that is the truth. I believe that money isn't the be-all and end-all. But if you don't have it, you're very restricted in what you can do in life. So definitely be realistic. Surround yourself with a team of people. I don't believe in focusing on your weaknesses and making your weaknesses better. I believe focusing on your strengths and then getting people to help you in your areas where you're weak. I think that's a waste of time to go out and, learn areas where you could just employ somebody and get them to do it, and it'd be much more time effective and cost effective. Planning is a huge one. I'm an accountant by trade. I don't believe in that you need all these intrinsic, detailed business plans. I don't believe that's the case, but you do need some sort of a plan, because when you come across the challenges that you invariably do when you're in business, and we all do, you don't think that you're going to, but you do. If you have a plan, then you can focus. If you've got a purpose and a plan, they're the two key things. So you've got to know why you're doing it, because when you're banging your head saying there's no money at the end of the month, or, staff, if you've got staff, oh man, the dramas that you have with staff, if you come across those challenges and you don't have a reason why you're doing this, it's much more difficult to overcome those challenges. I believe if you've got a reason why you're doing this in the first place. So for me, it's about choice. It's about family for me. It's about freedom, financial freedom. So I'm doing all this to be financially free. I want to have choice. I want to be able to say, I want to take my kids on a holiday, next on the school holidays. I want to be able to, do things without thinking about, have I got enough money in the bank to do them? It's not about material things for me. It's about choice. It's about being able to experience things and go places and all that sort of stuff. It's about, for me, the reason why I'm an entrepreneur and not an employee is because of my children. I don't want to feel the pressure when they're sick that, oh gosh, am I going to upset my boss because I have to stay home today? It's about, what? They come first, and I'll work my appointments around them. They're sick, they're staying home, and I'm staying home with them. So that's when I make sure that I'm very clear on that purpose, because we have been confronted with many challenges in business, and relocating away from family and all of that it's been really difficult. But, I make sure that I'm really clear on that. It's also about knowing your customer. And that's another key thing before you even, step out and into that world of entrepreneurship. I believe you've got to put yourself in your customer's shoes, live, breathe, feel what they feel, think about all the challenges that they experience and come up with the solutions. Because, where people, look at me when I taking my 3 kids into school and kinder and whatever, they say, how do you do it? But the reality of it is we're all doing it. You speak to any mum that's trying to juggle business or work, a career or whatever. We're all doing it. We've all got challenges. If you come across somebody that can overcome that challenge for you, oh gosh, it's like a breath of fresh air. It's like, yes, I'm going to buy that, or I'm going to do that because it will make my life easier. And for me, the last thing is about personal development. It's, to me, being in business has been more about personal development than any high-tech, skill that you might need to learn. There's been no crazy high-tech skills. Yes, I went to university and studied commerce. So what? At the end of the day, that was part of my journey, but that hasn't given me any high-tech skill that anybody else doesn't have. It's what it is about is pure self-belief, determination, and just that willingness and wanting to achieve your goal no matter what. That's all it is in business. I don't believe it's about anything that you can't get from personal development. So, yeah, it's been, this journey of business for me has been about purely that, being able to learn what I can overcome. Don't ask for less challenges, ask for more wisdom, all of that sort of stuff. And there's been times where I've been sitting there and saying, oh, I wish this would go away, but then had to shift to, why is it happening? What do I need to learn? What do I need to do different? All of that sort of stuff. And I've come a long way from where I was when I first started, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm. Excellent.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing that. I think I'm actually going to squeeze that into the interview itself somewhere as well. Whether it's just on the end or somewhere in between, because that right there, apart from you being able to plug your stuff, that right there is the inspiration that's going to have people go, okay, they want to do business with you, not just get an app. So I'm actually going to fit this in to the other one, not behind the scenes. This needs to be shared.
It's been a very personal journey, and App Budgie, that's why I'm so excited about App Budgie, because to me it's for want of a better word, it's been quite a spiritual journey as well. It's just that journey of me and who I am, and not necessarily about just being the winner in business. It's about, okay, this is what I love, and obviously love that for a reason, and I believe that we're all here for a reason, and that what you love to do is your purpose and your journey, and what I love to do is my purpose and my journey, and that's going to take us ultimately along the track of where we need to be in life and what we need to achieve. What we all want and like to do is all different, and that's for a reason. That's because that's what we're supposed to be doing, I believe. So it breaks my heart when I see people doing things that they hate, and I think, gosh, what do you love? There has to be a way. You have to be realistic about it, but at the same time, if you focus on that enough and just have faith, I do believe that the way will present itself.
Yeah, and if you keep going too, like you end up at a place like you're at App Budgie. I'm doing interviews.
That's right.
I had no idea I'll share a little bit about my story. So I started my business 6 years ago. I'm actually a Xerox technician by trade.
Right.
And so my first business, naturally, you'd step out and you do the thing that you do. And then I learned to become an accountant, stockroom guy, inventory, everything. Yeah. And that's how I got into network marketing. I was looking for an online solution 3 years into doing business, because I wasn't passionate about the business, but I was passionate about not having a job.
That's right.
So I ended up with a self-employed job that was working 10 times more than everything else I was doing, 10 times harder, making a bit less money, but still that choice.
Yes.
My kids need something, I can go do that. Or I can rearrange my life. So 3 years into that, I thought, if I leave Sydney, I have no business. Yeah. And so that's when I went to the online thing, and I found Carbon Copy Pro. And and therefore, and the thing that got me in was they're going to train me on the internet. I went, there it is. So so I went down that whole thing for 3 years, struggling and frustration, a little bit of success, and turned into helping just small business and big business just with their setting up their internet systems with all the knowledge I have. And that's actually what I do 3 days a week now. I work contracting to a turf company, and I'm implementing all that super ninja internet stuff into their business. They've got 10 years worth of websites and videos, and I'm just sort of bringing it all in line, streamlining it, making it perform better. But I've gone through that whole. I'm coming out of a really down time because the economy destroyed my copier business because it wrecked everyone else's businesses. So mine's gone down, got nothing. Yeah. And then this business hadn't taken off yet. So I found myself in a gap where I had to go and get a job, just labouring $20 an hour, hauling fish and ice for 12 hours a day. Just I've only just now, as I go through it, sort of been able to tell the story without crying, you know, like probably like the 5th or 6th time now. It's just like so overwhelming. So I've come out of that now to and this is what came out of all of this is this is where I am at the interview of sharing other people's struggles and helping other people get where they want to get to. And inevitably that'll help me get where I want to get to as well.
Absolutely.
So I never would have thought of that 3 years ago. When I didn't sign up for that. When I put my credit card in for carbon copy, I didn't sign up for that. No.
And you didn't sign up for all of those big, massive challenges that nearly cut you to the bone either. Yeah. You know, I didn't sign up for that either. But it's character building. It really is character building. And it makes you stop and think, hey, you know, why is this happening? What do I need to be doing? And, you know, if you're committed to get where you want to go and to achieve your goals and dreams, then it's really difficult to do. Very difficult to do, especially when you're in the midst of that crisis where things aren't happening the way you want them. It's really hard to stop and say, okay, what's the lesson? Where should I be going? Where do I need to step left before I move forward, or what needs to happen here? And I think that sometimes if we just stop and just say, okay, and quiet ourselves down a little bit, and the answers do come like they have come for you, you know, and they have come for me. Like, really, that's App Budgie came through that. Did I expect it? Absolutely not. You know, I actually struggled with myself that night that I listened to the webinar. I listened to the webinar with my iPad, it was on at night time with my earpiece in. My husband was snoring next to me. Every now and then he'd turn and look at me like, oh, you're crazy. What are you listening to now? You know? And I was even too scared in the morning to say to him, I want to do this, because I thought he's going to say, you're mad. You're completely mad. We're not doing it. Enough's enough. But when I explained it to him, he said to me, oh, you've got to do it, don't you? Like, oh, no, don't tell me that. Now I've actually got to find a way to actually do this, you know. So, but I feel your pain, definitely. It is. It's so, that's where the personal development part comes into it. You know, I don't know if you've read the book The Alchemist.
No, I know of it. I haven't read it.
Yeah, to me, that's, if you read that book after the journey that you've been through, you'll just go, oh man, you know, it's amazing. Yeah, it resonated with me so much. Okay, I think I'll have to get that wow, listening to the signs, seeing the signals of where you should be going, and you know, if you look back in hindsight, you know, it's an amazing book. You should read it.
Yeah, I think I will get that because I've seen it. It's on that list of books to get. You know, like it's.
Definitely.
But and then so I think, and what you were saying too about the passion, it's the passion that pushes. If you don't have the passion, if it's for the money, there's no way you're going to suffer through all that just for the money. No. You know, what's money? You can get a job to get money.
Yeah, there's this other great saying that, or the quote by Steve Jobs, and it's, if you are working on something exciting that you really care about, you don't have to be pushed, the vision pulls you. Yeah. And that's the truth. You know, when you find that thing, and that's what I'm saying, App Budgie is that thing for me. Yeah. And it's not that I feel like I'm being pushed to, you know, I'm an accountant, for goodness sake. I never thought that I would go and cold call sales, you know, with people. I do it on a daily basis, and it's not that I feel like I'm selling. It feels like I'm sharing a story, and it feels like I'm, you know, educating people, and I'm so excited about it. And, you know, I've been and sat in other accountants' offices, and they all sit there with their jackets on around the boardroom table. And in the end, I'm waving my hands and saying, can't you see that? And in the end, they're saying, yes, we can see it. It's amazing. We can't believe we've never seen anything like this before. But, and when you find that thing that pulls you, it's so much easier to overcome those challenges. You become so much more determined. You've got that self-belief and just that resilience that, you know what, I want this so bad, and this is the thing that I've been waiting for all of those years, that it really does pull you, instead of feeling like, okay, I need to find another way to market this business. You know what? You just like, you hunger for it, so.